It's time to raise our voice. It's time, if you're tired of the devil attacking your family, attacking your children, attacking your finances, attacking your mind and your health, lift your voice and declare, Jesus is my rescuer. Jesus is my deliverer. Jesus is my healer. Peter, the Bible said, was sinking when he saw the boisterous winds and waves. He was afraid. I love it. And he was beginning to sink. That caught my attention. He was beginning to sink. He didn't wait until he was under bubbles. He didn't wait till he's 20 feet up under the water, taking his last gasp. But when he was beginning to sink, somebody is listening to me and you can feel it. I'm beginning to sink. I'm beginning to go back into that alcoholism. I'm beginning to go back into that. I can feel this thing as I'm under attack, Pastor. And the Bible said, and as he was beginning to sink, don't wait too late, do it now. He cried out saying, Lord, isn't this deep theological truth here? He didn't have to pray a fancy prayer. Lord, save me. I'm beginning to sink. And Jesus took his hand and reached down and picked him up. And what he couldn't do on his own, when he took the hand of Jesus, they walked back to the boat together. But it happened when he cried out, when he raised his voice. One more. I wonder if there's any blind Bartimaeuses in the house today. Because the Bible tells the story of a man named Bartimaeus who was born blind from his mother's womb. And one day he heard that Jesus was passing by. And when he heard of Jesus of Nazareth, he began to cry out, Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me. And the religious crowd, they're always there. Many warned him, be quiet, shut up. I think the intimidation came something like this. Just act like the problem's not real. Just play church this morning. We don't want anybody to know about your little problem. Shh. Don't get vulnerable. Be quiet. Just act like it's not real. That's not for you. He's not coming for you. But I love what the next part of that verse said. They warned him to be quiet, but he cried out all the more. The King James said he cried out louder. Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me. Shout more. Pray more. Cry out more. The more the devil attacks you, the more you cry out. The more he intimidates and tries to defeat you, the more you cry out. You're in the city and silence is a sin in the city. Why? Because there's a Redeemer who's ready to rescue you. I got a text about 7 weeks ago, something like that. It's from a pastor friend that I've known. We've never been, super close or anything, but he's very cordial, one of the greatest, nicest men that I've ever met, and very gifted, very anointed. Pastors a great church in Tennessee. And he sent me a text about 6 or 7 weeks ago, and he said, I was watching you on television, and you'll never know the message that you preached. He said, I wept in my room and I cried as I listened to you preach. It so touched my heart because I'm hurting. And we went back and forth, and you just don't know who you're talking to. You don't know where they're at. And we went and exchanged some texts back and forth, and I wished him well and thanked him and prayed for him on the text and said, I'm praying. And didn't give it much thought, to be honest. Last week, I found out that young preacher took his life. I couldn't help but think of this thought of he was hurting, but who really knew? He was at his wit's end, but who really knew? Because we're so good at coming to church and acting religious, when we ought to be crying out, I'm dying, we're in trouble, I can't leave here, my family's jacked up, I need some help, I need God's help, I'm hurting too bad to pretend. Anybody ever get to that place that you can be honest with God? I'm struggling, I've got a besetting sin. Can you ever get to that place that you can say it? You can ever break the silence and say, help? He'll come running. We used to, at the end of a wedding, we don't do it much anymore. They've taken it out of the ceremony for some reason. I guess because families are so argumentative that they're scared somebody will take them up. But we used to say this at the very end of the ceremony, right before you would pronounce the man and woman, husband and wife. There's a little statement they used to write in it. If there's anyone here who would object to this man marrying this woman, here's the big words: speak now or forever hold your peace. I believe that we're at a point in many, many, many lives that I'm reaching right now, at all of our campuses and right here, and those of you watching, that the Lord is saying, speak now. Speak the word, speak my name, speak in prayer, speak in intercession, speak up for truth, speak up for what's right. Speak now or forever hold your peace. Anybody ready to raise your voice? Anybody tired of the attack, and you're tired of it? I believe I've come with a word in season today that would say, I am still your healer. I am still your rescuer. I am still the one who delivers you out of the horrible pit. I am still the one who is your buckler, your shield. I'm your redeemer, and I have come to the city for the cry of my people. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure that you subscribe to our channel so that you can get notifications on new posts and live streams. Be sure to share this video with a friend. You never know how you can send the Word of God right when somebody needs to hear it. And you can use your social influence for good, for the glory of God. Thanks again. Share it with a friend. And I really appreciate you watching. We'll see you next time.